स्वागत है आप सबका मिस्टर गन गेमिंग में। और चलिए शुरू करते हैं पोकेमॉन अनबाउंड वर्जन। तो दोस्तों, पिछले एपिसोड में हमें फर्स्ट फ्लोर की मिल चुकी है, तो हम कंटिन्यू करेंगे। और मुझे लगता है इसी फ्लोर पर हमें दूसरी की भी मिल जाएगी। डस्क बॉल मिल गया। Marlon sir, I know what it looks like, but I promise I'm not slacking off. Zev told me to watch the news and keep an eye out for anyone who looks like they might belong to the light of ruin. With the most of the other grunts gone, our manpower has become very limited. So it is essential that each of us becomes strong as possible. ये मैंने यस क्यों कर दिया? ऐसे मज़ा तो आ रहा है ये ड्रेस पहन के। सोच रहा हूँ वॉक थ्रू वॉल्स यूज करके इसी ड्रेस में बाहर घूमूं। ये तो बहुत हो गया अभी, बहुत ही ज़्यादा टाइम पास हो गया। मतलब ये तो कुछ भयंकर ही टाइम पास हो गया। मालामार, ये कौन सा पोकेमॉन है भाई? ओह, ये वाला। मुझे लगता है तो वाटर टाइप। अरे ये इसने तो ले लिया, वापस दे रहा। क्या ही खेल रहा है ये। वैसे मैं बैटल करने नहीं वाला अब, क्यों ही करूँ। तो ये ड्रेस पहनने का मतलब ही क्या है? बैटल ही करनी है तो। ओह, लेवल 3 की यहाँ पर चलेगी। तुम लोग क्या कर रहे हो भाई? कुछ भी कहो दोस्तों, ये ड्रेस है तो बहुत बढ़िया। बस हमेशा के लिए पहनने को मिल जाए तो मज़ा आ जाए। सॉरी, फ्लोर 2। Oh, Marlon sir, I spent some time at Science Society and discovered a new way to make our Pokemon stronger in battles. Yes. क्या battles में strong है? मेगा एवोल्यूशन वगैरह दिखाएगा तो मुझे इंटरेस्ट नहीं है। ठीक है, हमारे पोकेमॉन भी लेवल अप हो जाएंगे, इसमें कोई दिक्कत वाली बात नहीं है। वैसे जितना वोल्ट आर्कनाइन को भेजेंगे हम। ओ, ये इसका कुछ नया तकनीक लग रही है। तकनीक कुछ ज़्यादा ही शुद्ध हिंदी शब्द हो गया। वैसे कुछ टेक्निक लग रही है। ओह, एक्स्ट्रा सेंसरी डैमेज, क्रंच। क्रंच ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव था वैसे। अरे इसने पोकेमॉन हील करके दिए, अच्छी बात है, शुक्रिया। आई एम यूजिंग अ कॉम्प्लिकेटेड algorithm to determine the approximate location of the Light of Ruin HQ. Once I have the results, Zeph plans on the using information to take his revenge on the Light of Ruin. The only thing is, I don't know how long it will take to finish. Oh. So अब हमें जाना है उधर ही नहीं, एक बार चेक कर लेते हैं। यस, यही से तो आए थे। खामा का टाइम चला गया। Sir, Zeph has ordered me to stop anyone without the proper clearance from entering the lab. I'm sure it's fine if I allow you in. यही तो चाहिए था वैसे। 20% हो गया वैसे। The final batch of Shadow Warriors that Zeph requested are almost fully synthesized. Once the process is complete, we should have enough fighting power to take down the Light of Ruin. अरे इनका तो अलग ही कुछ चल रहा है। इनका तो अलग ही खेल चल रहा है। क्या ही करें, कुछ अच्छा आइटम होना चाहिए। वाह, क्या मिला? TM41। और इसके लिए तुम मुझे अंदर नहीं जाने दे रहे थे। यहाँ पे कुछ तो था जो हमें अंदर जाने नहीं दे रहा था। ये दिख रहा है। क्या बता, ये इम्पोर्टेंट हो। वाह, ब्लैक ग्लासेस। इन दो आइटम के लिए मैं इतना पीछे आया। वाह, ये कौन था वैसे? Zeph, what's happened to you? Marlon disappeared. Ivory left us to do our case knows what. What's the point anymore? Snap out of it, Zeph. Come back to your senses. It's me, Marlon. Marlon, is that really you? You look different. That scar on your face is gone and your arm is fully healed. But where is your uniform? Yes, it's me, Zeph. I took off my uniform after I blasted my way in here. It's not like I'm going to need it anymore. Based on what I heard from the remaining grunt, the shadows have essentially disbanded. We are not done yet. We still have one more mission to complete. What happened, Zeph? Why we were abandoned? After Aklov made a fool out of me and carried out the unbinding, many grunts were awestruck by his power and pledged alliance to the Right of Ruin. They hope to use Hupat's power to bring themselves untold riches. But those fools have no idea what they've done. They are helping him destroy their home. Why did you come back, Marlon? You had a chance to get out of this mess. I am aware you have been having second thoughts lately, so why stay? You could have left to be with your children again. I can't yet. I first must destroy all of the Shadow Warriors we created. Otherwise, I'll be forced to live for eternity and watch my children perish before me. What are you saying, Marlon? Those Shadow Warriors are the best weapons we have left. But either way, even if I wanted to go along with your ridiculous mission, I couldn't. The Light of Ruin took possession of most of them. The only one remaining are still being synthesized in the lab. But that's what we get for storing all of them in one place. I'm aware. I was just there with Misto. We fought Vega and the Light of Ruin together. Misto, he's dead. I've watched him burn alive. You can't honestly expect me to believe that you actually team up with someone who is dead. I can explain, Zeph. I just need you to calm down first. What the? Wait, is that you, Mister? I thought I told you not to come here. You just made a really big mistake. Mister, how are you still alive? I watched you burn up. I thought Marlon was lying at first, but I have no choice but to believe him. Now that I have seen your face under that hood, you are going to pay for the damage you caused. Everything that's happened, it was all because of you. It's time for you to burn again. अरे भाई मेरे पे क्यों गुस्सा निकाल रहे हो? अब मैंने क्या कर दिया? अरे यार इतना भी क्या गुस्सा? क्या कर दिया मैंने ऐसा? वैसे तुम लोग भी कुछ काम अच्छे कर नहीं रहे थे? ओह मेगा ब्रेसलेट एक्स क्रंच, ये तो गया। फ्लेम थ्रोअर सुपर इफेक्टिव होगा। हाई प्रपोर्शन मुझे मालूम होना चाहिए था। ये गए, एक ही पोकेमॉन बचता है अब। एक्सप्लोड, क्योंकि ये नॉर्मल टाइप पोकेमॉन है तो सीधी सी बात है हम यूज़ करेंगे फाइटिंग टाइप। और ये गया। I had it with you. Zeph, stop. We don't have time for fighting right now. Misto isn't the enemy you should be focusing on. The light of ruin is. Now, you can either accept that fact or I am assuming command of what remains of the shadows. Thank you. Now, I have been hearing rumors that you have been planning an attack on Light of Ruin base. Care to fill me in on the details? You heard correctly. Once our scientists locate their base, the shadows are going to take them by surprise and destroy their base from within. However, I am still unsure as to how long it will take to locate them. Fortunately, I know where their base is. When I was in Cinder Volcano with Mr. Vega ordered his grunt to return to Weevil Town. That's most likely where they are hiding. Vega, that traitor, I should know he turned on us. I need to confirm with the scientists, but if we are correct, now would be the perfect time to strike. Aklov has taken Huppa to Hoenn in order to test its strength before he unleashes its power here. If we take out his base while he's gone, he have nothing to return to. Agreed. We need all the manpower we can get for the attack, so I suggest we bring Mr. along as well. What? Wasn't it enough that you allow him to aid you before? Why have you put so much faith in him? We both died, Zeph. We were together in the judgment zone. When Arceus spirits rewound time on my body and restored me to life, I learned who Mr. is. Arceus, as in the Pokemon that Arrows gain limited control over? Yes, that Arceus. It seems that before Arrows passed on, Arceus left him and returned to govern the Judgment Zone. So, how about it, Misto? I know we haven't really seen eye to eye before, but are you willing to join our raid on the Light of Ruin base in Weevil Town? Yes, really? You would just like that? I guess it makes sense. They are the true threat to the Boreas region after all. However, I would still like to be certain that I have your complete support. Please allow me to explain to you the true purpose of the shadows. It all started 18 years ago. Zeph's son had just passed away. To confront him, Ivory and I come to visit from Hoenn. Zeph, how are you holding up? Marlon, I heard about your son. Ivory, Marlon, thank you both for coming to visit me. It's good to see you again after all these years. I take it you traveled by boat to get here. How was the journey? Very pleasant. It took a few days to arrive here, but the journey was lovely. If I remember correctly, you have a son too, right? We did. He caught an illness and passed away at a young age. Have you ever thought about trying to bring him back? We did. Actually, As a scientist, we figured that if anyone could find a way, it would be us. But of course, not even Arceus truly has the power to restore the dead. We had no choice but to move on. Then, about a year ago, Ivory gave birth to twins. It was the happiest moment of our lives. Ever since then, the voids in our hearts have almost been filled. Where are your children now? Our friend Eveler Log is taking care of them in Frozen Heights while we visiting you. A friend of mine lives in Frozen Heights as well. He works for a group of scientists known as a scientist society. But around here he is known as the guardian of Boreas. He's even managed to capture Arceus. I think his wife just gave birth to a son actually. However, I'm having difficulty remembering the boy's name. Oh, I forgot to ask earlier, but what are your children's names? Their names are Sky and Melanie. They are the most beautiful children in the world, with such a beautiful names to match too. How would you like to help me with something? Anything, Jeff. We are here for you. I want your help to. I want your help in bringing my son back to life. I know it can be done with your expertise and Aura's control of Arceus. Maybe we can find a way to bring our children back to us. It just can't be done, Zev. Trust us, we tried. It took many tries, but eventually Zev convinced us to move to Frozen Heights and assist him. We met up with your father soon after. He was more hesitant to help at first, but he came around not long after. Unfortunately, by that point too much time had passed since Zeb's son had passed away. Arceus was only able to restore lost life if the soul had not ascended beyond the judgment zone. Thus, we had no choice but to find a more scientific approach. What's the current status? We are ready to begin the first trial, Zeph. Good. Everyone take your positions. Would you do us the honors, Aros? Of course, Zeph. To start, I just placed this Pokemon here. Now I place the sample of remains beside it. And finally, turn on the molecular fusion device. Once I cover it with its armor, the fusion should be complete. Haha, I did it! I created the first human Pokemon hybrid. Once I report back to Faye, she should be able to give me more insight into improving this process. With enough time, I should be able to bring back your son, Zeph. Yours as well, Marlon and Ivory. Aros, no! Quick, Marlon, hand me the control gauntlet that Aros made for this creature. Stay, creature. You must obey my command. Oh, Aros, how could I lose you too? Marlon, Ivory, we can't let this deter us. However, I no longer think it can be done with just the three of us. We need more manpower if we hope to complete this task. But where will we get the money to hire workers? Money is no object. I have plenty of funds saved up from when I sold Cube Corp to those lunatic scientists. And in addition to scientists, they are graciously sent over. We also now have the funds to hire the faceless drones we need. All through Aros was gone, we continued the trials in his memory. However, our shadow warriors were difficult to control at first. Some lashed out, scaring my face and arm. Despite this, we passed on. Over the next several years, with the help of Science Society, we continue capturing Pokemon and combining them with the human remains. And the more we did this, the more our compassion for life decreases. Eventually, after determining we wouldn't be able to create a creature that would retain its memories of its former life, we decide on a new approach. Marlon, Ivory, I believe it's time we try something new. In last several years, we have barely made any progress. We may have managed to create a few hundred shadow warriors, but they are all still just mindless beasts. I had high hopes for our comrades from the Science Society, but it appears they are all just talk. You both have given up so much to help me. You abandoned your children for me. It's time to end this so we can all go home again. Therefore, I suggest we begin work on operational operation internal flower. If we can find a way to bring that weapon here, then we can use it to restore our children. And thus we began collecting information on the dark force of Boreas so we could use its power to bring us the ultimate weapon. From there, you know the rest. Phew, take it all in, mister. Okay, now that I told you essentially everything, you should have no hesitation about trusting us anymore. Your Arrow's son, if I had known, I never would have attacked you. I'm sorry, mister. I am. Marlon, we can't stay here any longer. It's time to rally our fighting force and head to Weevil Town. Prepare the shadows. We depart at once. Right away, Zeph. Let's go to Weevil Town as fast as possible. I doubt we have much time before Aklov returns. Oh, one last thing, mister. Keep the outfit. It looks good on you. Who knows, it may come in handy someday. Get to Weevil Town as soon as possible. We don't have long. Head northeast from Dehara city. To get there, the quickest way. ओके अरे ये तो बहुत ही बढ़िया होगा, यही तो चाहता था मैं क्या चाहता था। कि बस ये कपड़े मुझे पहनने को मिल जाए। कस्टम ब्लॉक का फ्यूचर नहीं है लगता है इसमें। ओह नो, क्या ही कर सकते हैं, मुझे वो ड्रेस चाहिए। चलो कोई बात नहीं। सो दोस्तों, आज के पार्ट के लिए बस इतना ही। अगले पार्ट में हम फिर जाएंगे देहारा सिटी। सो अगर आपको वीडियो पसंद आया तो वीडियो पे लाइक कर देना, कमेंट भी करना, और अगर आप मेरे चैनल पे नए हैं तो चैनल को सब्सक्राइब भी कर लेना। वीडियो देखने के लिए शुक्रिया।